Hey guys, Harrison, I'm back at it once again for a brand new video for you, and welcome to a brand new series called Dre Talk. I'll be honest, I wasn't planning to start this series for probably another couple of weeks, mainly because it was so different from what I normally do. The idea of Dre Talk was to be a series where I would sit down and talk about commentaries and topics and things that aren't necessarily sporting related, featuring gameplay from games I don't normally show off on this channel and just mixing it up a little bit here and there. I know a lot of people in the F1 community have taken the time out now to, sit down and think about what direction they're taking their channels in, and featuring games that are different. Shout out to Alex and his Euro Truck Simulator as a prime example of this. It's a nice thing to break up the videos now and again, and out of my 190 or so videos, about 150 are Formula 1, so it's nice to have a little bit of variance here and there. But the reason why I'm doing this now instead of maybe in a couple of weeks' time was because, well, if you're a prominent member of the F1 community or have a functioning brain, you would have worked out that two predominant YouTubers within our community felt the need to have a little bit of a public spat over the last 2 or 3 days, and those two guys were MickeyMotionZ and AthleekVG. A lot of people have been asking me for my take on this. A lot of people, mainly because I'm close with Mickey. I've known Athleek now and again. So a lot of people have asked me, Dre, what's your take, and things like that. So I thought maybe this would be the ideal way to kick off this series, was to talk something that a lot of people, are into, and it's on a lot of people's minds right now. And what my 2 cents are on the whole situation. Now, a disclaimer: I'm not picking sides. I've never been one to pick sides. That's what children do. I have known Mickey for about a year. We have had our differences. Many people who have followed my channel for a long time will know exactly what I'm talking about. I questioned his thumbnails and things like that. Having the Tina girls in them is not necessarily what you call great. I think it's just kind of misleading more than anything else. And I've also shown disagreement towards how Athleek sees his YouTube account and his perspectives and things like that. We don't see eye to eye on that, but I have nothing against either guy in particular. Let me just get that off my chest. I'm not defending either guy. There's right and wrong on both sides here, in my opinion. I'll get into that more as the commentary goes on. But for those who are unaware, basically, Mickey thought that Athleek was copying one of his videos. It was an idea for F1 2030. I think it was game improvements and whatnot. And I'll be honest, this situation was overblown about 5 or 6 times worse than what it needed to be. There was no need for Mickey to go on Twitter and constantly whine and moan about Athleek doing this and Athleek doing that. I'll be straight up, Mickey's had beef with Athleek for months. It's a true story. I don't think he's ever really liked the fact that Athleek has been more successful than him, because he's come out of nowhere and gotten big. That's just unfortunately how businesses and how YouTube channels work. So sometimes you hit lightning in a bottle and you grow really quickly as a result. Look at channels like Epic Mealtime for a prime example of that. Came up with a new concept, became really big really quickly, and he's now arguably the market leader in Formula 1 between him and Into the Barrier. Toss a coin, make your mind up that way. Athleek has used methods which could be described as questionable in order to get to that size. There's nothing wrong with uploading a high amount of videos. He's got nearly 800 on his channel, but doing things like mentioning directors' names in descriptions in order to get views off of their names and things like that. I mentioned this before in my State of the Community video where I mentioned this, and it's ethically kind of wrong to profit off of other people's names. But I've seen big channels do that all the time. Like Duke the Killer is a prime example of that. He's copied Chris Moo's commentaries and descriptions and tags and things like that in his videos all the time. So it's common. It's almost common practice. So it's questionable ethically, but there's nothing wrong with it. And that's what I'm trying to say. Athleek never did anything wrong in all this, really. He was only just trying to defend himself because Mickey was constantly attacking Athleek for his ethical stance on things like copying. And you know what? Athleek did not copy Mickey's videos. He just came up with his own perspective and twist on things. Yes, they're similar, but there's thousands of similar videos on YouTube. People are gonna do the same topics. I mean, is the first guy who does a career mode playthrough on a Formula 1 game therefore the only guy who can do a career mode without everyone else thinking it's copying? I mean, seriously, it's an annoying situation because it's childish. It's like you don't own the intellectual property on an idea like that. It's just a game mode that anybody can do. And there's, like I said, there's thousands of similar videos out there. There's no point in being selfish and being silly and, you know, going out and say, oh, this is my idea. You can't do a commentary about this because I did it first. You know, it's kind of childish, you know, if you get my take on it, to be honest. And if anyone's followed me on Twitter in the last 2 or 3 days, at Harrison101HD, by the way, in case you haven't already, I've been vocal in saying how childish this whole thing tends to be, and it blew up over the last couple of days. Athleek released a picture on Twitter. You know, Mickey then accused him of twisting and building the story so that it favors him, which is what you kind of do in an argument anyway. But you know, God forbid a guy wants to defend himself from an unprovoked attack. I mean, shit. That's never happened in the history of human civilization. But then Mickey made a video, then Athleek made a video back about YouTube pay drivers. Mickey got his audience to, you know, dislike the video and basically, you know, draw attention to the fact that you know, this guy's done this and this guy's got a perspective. And what it boils down to more than anything else is that, you know, Mickey likes to believe that he should be the Cape Crusader who saves YouTube from you know, what he thinks is bad ethical practice. You know, mainly because he was inspired by guys in the Call of Duty community, guys like Woody's Gamer Tag, iFly, what's the one I was thinking of? Yeah, that's the one, DJ Keemstar, who the inventor of Drama Alert. Just wanting to, you know, create controversy and be inspired by those guys who just draw attention to everything. And he's done that before on Twitter, he's done it before on Skype. That's just how he is. He feels like he has to go out of his way to point the finger at people and say, this is not something I agree with, therefore he must go down and he must be exposed for the terrible person that he is. Newsflash. There is nothing wrong in running your YouTube channel like it's a business. Why? Because YouTube is a business, like any other that happens to be in existence. It's a market. There's other video sharing sites out there, obviously the Dailymotions, the Vimeos of the world and whatnot. But YouTube within it is a business. We're all trying to generate views for ourselves. Yeah, Athleek is more honest and more public about how he views his role as a YouTube director and video maker. I give him props for that. I mean, it's not easy to go out there and say, you know, I do this and I'm in this for the money. At first glance, people will think like that's a bad way to think. But really it isn't. I mean, God forbid I want to take care of myself, you know, and you know, be able to go out there and eat and, you know, run a house. I mean, it's the exact same principle as going out there and having a real job. It's exactly the same thing. You go out there and get a job, or you can make enough money via YouTube to get across and do what you got to do. So people are saying like, "Oh, I'm in it for the money." Like that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, if anything, because you know, he's honest enough to go out there and say, "Look, I'm doing this because, you know, I need the money." And let's be honest, all of the big directors out here in any capacity on YouTube are making money. Why? Because YouTube has changed in the last year and a half, 2 years. It's easier to make money. Just fire up your AdSense account, hook it up to your YouTube account, and there, you're in your money. And, you know, it's easier to be a partner to YouTube now because YouTube got more money from Google. So they're now partnering more people up, and it's easier for people to make money off advertising now because you don't have to be very big now to make money off your videos. And we're all making money. Now, whether ethically you believe that making money is important or not is down to you. You know, that's your choice. That's what you morally believe in. I personally don't care about the money so much. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I love to entertain people. I do it because I take some pride in being able to produce some quality content here and there. Is there anything wrong with that stance? No. Is it an easier stance to like? Yes. I make no bones admitting that either. It's easier to be likable because, you know, believing that you do it because you enjoy it and not because it's a money incentive thing is an easier thing to like. And there's nothing wrong in that either. But we shouldn't be attacking Athleek because he is financially driven. We are all secretly financially driven to some degree because it's nice to make a bit of money for something we love doing. You know, so I can completely see both sides of the argument here. You know, standing up for what you believe is right, there's nothing wrong in that. But at the same time, what Mickey was doing, he took it to another level, and I think he made it personal with Athleek. He felt like he was personally offended by what he did, and you know, he feels that because it doesn't agree with Mickey's take and Mickey's view on certain things, he felt the need to go public with it, and then when it backfired in his face, he felt, you know, screw it, I'm quitting YouTube and I'm quitting making these videos. And you know what, I'm disappointed in Mickey, because Mickey's a smart guy. I think he's better than that. I don't think he had any reason or need to make this public or blow it up to the point where it got to. That was the wrong thing to do. I loved his characteristics and I love his passion for what he does, but at the same time, he had to use his brain and stop and think and realise, if you're going to take on a guy with 11,000 subscribers head on, you're going to lose. Especially a guy who's got a better formed argument and is smarter than you. I'm sorry, it's a true story. I mean, if you watch the MickeyMotionZ Athleek debate, Mickey argues that Athleek manipulated the conversation and blackmailed him. Well, I'm sorry, if you go on Skype to talk to a guy, there's a possibility the other guy can record the call. There's always a possibility that can happen. And you've got to be very careful about how you go about yourself by doing things like that, because you can easily get exposed and look stupid, which is exactly what Mickey's done. And now he's gone running back now with his tail between his legs to say, I'm quitting now because I can't take the criticism and I can't take how, you know, that this situation didn't go in my favour and it's blown up in his face and now it looks terrible. He had the complete wrong approach to the whole situation, and now as a result we've all been sucked onto it. It's unfortunate he's had to quit, because I don't want to see any guy quit what they love doing, because that's never a nice feeling to go around, because I like Mickey, he's a good kid, I've always liked him, he's a passionate guy and he's a great video maker, and I've always respected that in him, because I think I see a lot of me in him when I was a bit younger, because I'm a little bit older than him, I'm 20 and I think he's 17. So I can see a lot of myself in him, but at the same time it's frustrating because he went about this the completely the wrong way, and it's just really, really unfortunate that it got to this extent where now people are talking about it. It's spreading virally. It's like something I'd expect out of the Call of Duty community, not something out of this, which is, generally speaking, very smart and passionate fans and a great audience of people to go out there and watch videos with. Can't we all just get along and make decent videos and all make a little bit of money and enjoy ourselves? Is that really too much to ask? I mean, am I crazy for suggesting this? Look, people who are worried, I mean, I'm sure Mickey will be back. He's indecisive. He'll be back. I guarantee it. He's got a very passionate fan base. He'll be back soon, probably. I mean, he's already said he'll be back when Grid 2 comes out in May, so who knows what will happen between now and then. Don't worry about the state of the F1 community. This community will be fine. There's so many fantastic video makers out there, Athleek included, that, you know, the community will be fine. Be positive, keep making great content, and we will all get along just great. Don't worry about copying other people. There's tons of similar content out there. Just go out there, do your thing, make it work for you, because YouTube is changing, it's money driven, it's advertised and back towards the bigger channels. It's just how it's been, and that's not going to change anytime soon. You have to make it change. So go out there and make it your own, make it work for you, whatever your incentives or motivations are. That is why this situation got to the point where it was, because people were thinking in the opposite way. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Go out there and make your own content, be your own director, make YouTube work for you, and I guarantee you'll be fine. If you've got an opinion on this, because I know a lot of you will, it's a guarantee. Comment below, get talking. I'd love to hear you guys take on the situation, and I'll catch you guys next time. I promise episode 2 of Dre Talk will be much more positive, probably. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next time. I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching, and sayonara.